All right, everybody, welcome to the Studying Brew episode 1106. That means 1,106 episodes we've been doing this. 1,106 times we've done this. We started out this in 2020 during the lockdowns when we thought it was only going to be about 2-3 weeks of doing this. And here we are, 1,106 episodes. Are you okay? All right, just checking. What the heck? 1,106 episodes later, and this attention deficit, and we've made it. We made it this far. It's crazy. Sorry, my partner here is
that's my
deciding to set up here.
I can hear you now.
All right. We good now? We good. All right. If you haven't never joined us for this, I'm glad that you joined us. Look, this is a little bit different than all y'all are used to in your study prep type of situations, meetings, programs. We do this like more like a live podcast. We do this to keep the energy flowing, to keep that routine going, keep that consistency going, give you some positive mental attitude, and to also give you a system and also to give you some free techniques and strategies that you can use to pass these exams. And when I say these exams, it could be a FINRA exam, it could be a NASA exam, it could be your state board medical exam, it could be your high school chemistry exam. It don't matter because the exam is irrelevant when you come here on the KonaButterflyz. We are showing you techniques that are universal, that could help you on a multiple choice exam, that can level you up, give you that extra 5 to 10% for free, for free, for free. All it costs is your time. We appreciate it if you guys share us, like us, subscribe. Thank you to all our people on YouTube. Please keep that going. Share it with other folks so they too can get that level up. Are we okay?
Good.
Good grief, man. My name is Andy. I'm the guy that runs all the back office over here at KonaButterflyz. The one over here that is always distracted on every level, which is good for you because this is a system. If you have ADD and you have ants in your pants and you couldn't be paid to pay attention most of the time, she's your girl. Series 6, 63, 26, Series 65, and a Series 7 is what she's got, which makes her more than qualified to teach you all the things you need to know so that way you too can get a pass notice. And that's all we talk about here. We talk about getting a pass notice. And some of y'all, I know there's some people that are like, yo, Andy, let's get to it. Let's get some quizzing going on. But let me tell you, the first part of getting a pass notice is it's your mental, man. It's your positive mental attitude. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to give you a little something, a little bit of knowledge. We've been doing this. We probably have close to maybe close to 2,000 passers or more. To be honest, I stopped counting after 1,000 and some change. And the reason why is for us, for both Brandy and I, it's always the next one, to be honest. It's always the next one. Like, it doesn't matter to you. Does it really matter to you? Let's be honest. Does it matter that maybe a small part of it, does it really matter to you that someone else passed? In your head, the biggest thing that really matters to you is what? You.
Can I pass?
Your pass notice. And let's be honest, right? This is like the time to be selfish about ourselves. We want that for us. That's what matters. The only thing that matters to you is that we've done this a lot and there are a lot of people have passed. That's about it. If you want to see our Instagram, and you could see that hall of fame that we got on there, and you could read testimonials of people. But to be honest, we stopped doing that after 2000. But I will say this, after a while and you get the pass notices and you get the fail notices and people who come close or whatever, I'm going to drop this little line on you guys. 90% of people who don't pass, these are the people who didn't pass. 90% of the time, most of them don't pass. Not because they didn't know the content, not because they didn't work hard. Most of them failed on the ride over. Most of them failed before they even reach the exam room because they can't keep that positivity in their head. They can't keep that, like, I can go do this. They start bringing up all these old, test results from high school. They're thinking about their third grade teacher that told them wouldn't be able to do nothing. They're thinking about that high school teacher that said, you know what, you ain't going to amount to nothing. They're thinking about that relative, maybe it's a mom, dad, uncle, aunt, I don't know who, but told them that they ain't smart enough, that they're dumb. And to be honest with you, I don't know if it's a cultural thing, but man, I'm a Native American, but I grew up more of a Latin type of household. And let me tell you, in a household in Latin culture, man, your family is sometimes the worst enemy. They be telling you like you ain't that smart. What are you doing over there trying to study? You ain't gonna do nothing. They don't mean it by like trying to do you harm, but they do, right? And it sticks in your head. And that negativity and all that shadow casts on you. And you could be the most self-developed person. You could have just read that book by Kobe Bryant, right? The Mamba mentality. And you could be reciting it. You got that. You're like, I feel every bit of that. I've been working hard on myself. Andy, you don't understand. But when you got that pressure and you got that exam coming up and your heart starts to accelerate a little bit, your head starts to spin a little bit, and we do the worst thing we could possibly do, which is listen to our inner thoughts that are bad. It gets in there. It gets in there. And we like to do this for you guys, not to really put a spotlight on it, but to make you understand you got to keep that positive mental attitude all the way there. And if you're starting this journey, or if you're in the middle of this journey and you're in that rut where you're feeling like, man, I don't know about this. Like, I don't know if I'm cut out. Maybe this is not, maybe I'm not, I don't know. Like there's gotta be, maybe there's another, I don't know. My cousin's got this electrician job, and you start thinking about all these different things, right? Look, y'all, the Brandy you see in front of you right now, the one moving around everywhere, let me tell you something. She ain't come from the financial world. This was hard as heck. And tonight you're gonna see her go through these questions. She's gonna do some test taking techniques. She's gonna show you how to answer these questions literally with zero content. Well, I can't say that. Every time I say that, she always bops one in there that takes a little bit.
No,
but let's just say 98% like Lysol, you ain't gonna need no content for this, right? She's just gonna answer that stuff and you're just gonna get that thing right. And you're gonna be like, dude, I can do that. And you're like, wow, she makes it so easy. How's she do that? She must be super genius. Well, I'll agree she is a genius because I want to sleep in my own bed tonight. But listen, it wasn't like that in the beginning. There was a lot of book throwing. There was a lot of like, get the heck out of my face. This is not working. There was a lot of crying. There was tears. There was, I don't know if I could do this. I don't know if anybody I know could do this. I don't know if I'm cut out for this. There was a lot of stuff.
This is stupid.
This is stupid. That's stupid. This tax thing is stupid. These options are dumb. Why do we call it call put? Who uses that? What the par? Give me a long, short, what? Short call, put call, what? I don't even know what this is even saying anymore. And some of you all are feeling that. Yeah. And you're like, Andy, you're like testifying everything in my brain right now. Yes, because that's how it was in our house. That's how it was in our house. Yeah. And I would always say this to Brandy, and then this is funny, but when she was feeling that way, I'd be like, Brandy, so-and-so in the office, that dude looks like he combs his hair with a lollipop every day. Can't even put together a fit, even if he was given one. She's all, yeah. I'm all, he's securities licensed. Are you telling me that person's smarter than you? Like, no, there's no chance that person's smarter than me. I'm like, all right, perfect. If that dude can do it with that lollipop hair comb over, you could do it too. You could do it too. And sometimes we just got to look at it that way. And when you're in that drive,
no offense to you,
and you in your, well, I didn't say nobody's name.
No, they're not on.
That person's not on.
This was like 10 years ago.
They're still around though.
They are, but you're not on.
If you see us in the office, don't ask me. I'm not going to tell you. But they're still around. But you probably know who I'm talking about. But I'm just saying, the person's a wreck. And I'm like, but sometimes it takes that. And you gotta zero in on the fact that you are good enough. That was then, this is now. I am better. I know I can do this. And you got to breathe that belief in yourself. And if you don't got that belief, then you got to borrow belief from somebody around you. And you got to keep that circle of belief around you tight. And you got to have the right people around you all the time. If that means you can't talk to that cousin who has nothing good to say to you ever, then you're going to have to just do that until you see them at the family reunion or at the Thanksgiving or the
After your
next
license.
cookout after you're licensed, right? When you ask them for their money to invest, right? No, but seriously, it just takes that type of blockade. Takes that type of fortress for a minute to get this thing done. So that way you can focus. And let me tell you, there was a lot of people who were hating on Brandy, told her she couldn't do it, told her that blah, 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 blah. I could go on and on about it. And you know what all of them did when they circled back around, when they realized that she was really good and she was like, I can't really say on here how much she closed, but let me just say this. When she was really going good and like they noticed our lifestyle changed a bit, you know what they said? Same relatives, right? Be like, I knew you could do it.
I remember.
Oh, I remember you studying. You're so smart. I knew it would be no big deal. Oh man, I always believed in you. That's where you almost feel like your life had instant replay, like a football game. You're like, can I see that on tape? Because that is not what happened. That is not what happened. Because I will throw a red flag on the field. Look, penalty for lying, right? 10-yard penalty for lying. You are all lying, but I love you. Can you make an investment? But really, honestly, it takes that. So you got to get yourself out of that. And that's why we do the positive mental attitude. That's why I talk to it. That's why I want you to get hyped. That is what we do on the Study and Brew. We give you that PMA, but we're also going to get into it. But if you came here to learn about options and how to break it down with section 1.245, whatever unit you're doing in, you're on the wrong Zoom. We do that in our members area. We have a whole bunch of content we do on your own dang time. I hated going to college and I hated going to classes where I'd be like, man, I could have stayed home. I could have stayed in bed. I could have done a lot of things other than be here listening to the same stuff I could have done on my own. Give me something and reward me something, teach that I can't get anywhere else. And that's what we do on these live sessions. On these studying brews, we give you a taste, a flavor, a little sampling of what we do. And then we get into those live sessions on the members. And guess what?
What's up?
Brandy goes into that exam mastery. She shows you how to master. This is one thing that everybody else doesn't have. You can get content anywhere, to be honest, right? If I'm not, I mean, shoot, you guys probably got it in your algorithms on Instagram. You can get it anywhere. Anybody can give you content, but what they can't give you and what they don't give you is how to apply it. They all say the same thing: read this book, learn these videos, and then go take a quiz and then get a score and then go take the test. That's what they all say. But they don't say, hey, learn this content and then let me show you how to apply it. Let me show you how they're going to ask you these questions, maybe. Let me show you how to get an answer right without even knowing the content. What if you freeze? What if you're freaking out? What if you like nothing makes sense to you? That's what we show you in those. That's why the Kona difference is. That's why you got to be a member. That's why it literally costs two people eating out at the Hardee's or the Carl's Jr. You can get that price. I didn't even include the McDonald's, dude. McDonald's, like, I don't know what happened to McDonald's where all of a sudden they're at like Ritz-Carlton like type food. I'm like, dude, this is McDonald's, right? But I'm just saying, for that low price, you could get in there and get that winning edge. You can get that part of your content and get that part of your whole program so that way you can pass an exam. It is a system and it doesn't matter what exams you have to study. You can just go ahead and do that. Scan the QR code, hit the links, check out all the different options. The more Brandy's involved, the more it costs. That's basically it. Books for sale, SIE 6, 63, 65, and 26. We got the Kona community on the Discord. Ask questions, get questions answered. Check it out. The Kona fam will help you out. We got our phone number, 951-290-3077. Give me a call, give me a text, or shoot me an email if you're old school like that, KonaButterflyz@gmail.com. All right, we got a schedule tomorrow. We don't have day sessions tomorrow. We don't have any live exam masteries. Go do your quizzes, go work the program, go check out our archives, go check out the videos. Check us out on YouTube. I know you're on, if you're watching the YouTube, go check out some more YouTube videos. It'll help you out. But we will be back for the Study and Brew tomorrow night, same bat time, same bat channel, as always. All right, everybody. If you're not following us on Instagram, I wish you would. I tell you what, because then when they give me a picture, and then they let me know, guess what, Brandy?
What's up?
I add another one to the Kona Hall of Fame because we got a passer. We got a passer. Yes, we do. We got a passer. I'm trying out for that guy that does a goal at
Yeah, yeah, I see that. Yeah, yeah,
we got a passer.
yeah.
All right, congratulations are in order for my man Samuel Brown. Passed the SIE today. Samuel Brown passed the SIE. Let it be known to everyone that Samuel Brown passed the SIE. Sammy Brown is on today, and he's going to tell us how he did it, how he locked it down. But before he starts talking, I'm going to say this.
Yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
Samuel Brown
Yeah.
came to us like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
He's like, look, I'm not gonna be on. I'm gonna be honest with you. I had to really study the content of like a hot minute, but I got an exam schedule. Should I push that exam? We're like, I don't know. What are you doing on this? And we coached him. And
Hmm.
then he was telling us how good he is at the techniques, and he demonstrated it. He was in those live sessions or the sessions that we are doing with his team.
Yeah.
And they were like, we're like, go take the exam. He's like, well, my scores aren't there. We're like, don't matter.
Bro.
We don't master Q banks in Kona. We
Nah.
don't master Q banks. Those questions ain't going to be on the exam anyway. We master techniques.
Yeah.
We master how we look at it.
Yep.
Are you seeing the connections?
Yeah.
He's all, yeah.
Yeah.
Take the dang exam.
Just do it.
Just do it. And that's what he did.
Yep.
Pass the SIE. Well, without further ado, I could tell you everything he told me that he was going to say, but I think you should just hear it from good old Samuel Brown. Mr. Brown, if you could go ahead and unmute yourself and let all the fine people meet and hear how you pass this dang thing, that would be great.
You got it. Bet. Okay, awesome.
Congratulations,
What's going on?
sir.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. What's going on, study Brew crew?
What up?
Awesome. Let's go. I'm excited. Well, main thing that I want to touch on today is really just the fact that, like you guys said, I didn't have no type of understanding of the actual like material, right? Because I didn't. Good thing I didn't need it, right? Now the reason for that, if you would have asked me to take a 50-question quiz back in high school, I would have been like, "Oh, hell, you're tripping," right? So, that was out of the picture, but good thing I was able to, just get the information on the study techniques that you guys brought. Huge blessing. Number one, I want to thank God for the fact that He put you guys in the hierarchy to help people like me that really don't like to focus for long, really don't like to sit down and take those long quizzes and tests. Because today I was able to finish my test within. I had like 20 minutes left on the clock. I've never done that before, by the way, in any exam anywhere, right? So that's new. And it really just it added a new simplicity to exams. What KonaButterflyz taught me, because I'm somebody that overthinks a lot when I test. Okay, so I'll go through the answer, be like, oh, okay, it's B. Cool, it's probably B, right? Oh, well, I heard this over here, probably not B. Let me check C. Or you know what? A looked pretty good. Let me go ahead and check back on A. That's not going to get you anywhere, right? So KonaButterflyz really helped me reaffirm my confidence in myself and my abilities. I didn't need a bunch of studying on the material, even though they provided it for me. They put the short videos in there. They didn't even have to do that. The test taking techniques were enough, but they provided that for us as well.
My
And
man.
yeah,
My
absolutely. I
man.
appreciate you guys. Let's go. And so, at the end of the day, I went in there. I knew I was able to be confident because of everything that they provided in the system. And the test taking techniques, guys, don't learn from my mistake, right? Learn a little bit more of the material as well, right? But don't like really utilize those test taking techniques, because it could be cherry on top if you want it to be, or it can make the whole difference for you guys. Okay, so I appreciate you guys, KonaButterflyz. You'll be seeing me soon, passing my 6, then 63, and then 26. And I know a lot of people in here are going to be doing the exact same thing, so I'm excited.
Well, I just want to add, thank you so much for
First of
all
all,
of that. And I also want to add, we did not pay Samuel Brown to say any of those things. It's straight from him. It's straight from the mouth. I didn't tell him I'm coach him on anything to say. That is straight from his heart. And I appreciate you for letting all the people know exactly what helped you out, because Brandy and I could say it. People know that there's marketing out there and everybody like be hyping stuff that doesn't really work. But there you go. You can ask Sam Brown. Just ask him, what's up? How did it work out? And I'm not lying, guys. His scores, they weren't passing scores before he took this exam. Those quiz scores were below 70%. And in any other program, they would have told him not to take it. Don't take that exam. You ain't going to pass. We were like, nah, man, you got the techniques down. You ain't need nothing else. Shoot, go take it. You got Kona.
That's right.
Pass.
Yeah.
We only talking about pass notices here. We don't care about, no Q bank mastering. We don't care about no practice exam you're supposed to take, mastery. We don't care about none of that. If you got the techniques down, look at Sam Brown. That man could not be more happier with that smile on his face. And I guarantee you, he felt like he pulled off a robbery when he saw that pass notice. He was like, it's too late. They already done and gave it to me. Like, I'm moving on up.
I know I had to get out of there before they took it away.
Exactly. That's what I would have done. That's what I would have done. I'd be like, shoot, before they figure this thing out, I'm out of here. It's already done. Give me that pass notice and it's already done, son. But that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. So tonight we're going to get into them techniques. But at first, I want to say thank you so much, Sam. And I can't wait to see you tomorrow. We're going to start that U4 process, that Series 6 coming at you as soon as that window opens. And let's get that thing done. 2-3 weeks.
Appreciate you guys.
Congratulations once more. Appreciate you. I don't know what else to say about that. Let's just get to it.
I really,
there's nothing you can say. There's nothing else I can add on to that. If you don't believe by that, I don't know what else to tell you. I mean, shoot.
Yeah.
There's nothing else to say.
No.
Nothing.
No.
So we're going to get into this Test Taking Techniques Tuesday. Rule number 1 on Test Taking Techniques Tuesday is you're not allowed to get on that chat or you send me any messages or ask, what exam did that question come from? Look, if you're paying attention, if you are asking that question, you're not paying attention to the dang thing we just said. It does not matter what exam. It doesn't matter. Watch how Brandy breaks it down. Look how she's looking at the answers first. Look what she observes. Look at how little content you even need. Start recognizing those skill sets, right? Start looking at and how to and put that into your quizzing. And then how do we get good at something? Well, I'll tell you right now, let's bring this to rule number 2. You don't act like Allen Iverson. We do practice. You got to practice. You got to get yourself a practice. And what we want you to do is what we call a drill that we call a 10-question flash quiz. That means 10 questions, 10 minutes, no thought, just all technique. And I don't care if you get a 20%. I don't care if you get a 5% or a 10%. Look, you're not going to learn that crossover dribble until you like hit your knees a few times. It ain't going to be effective. But I can tell you this right now. Once you nail it, you're adding a skill set to that repertoire and you are going to be going past people. You are going to raise those scores. It is a skill set that you need to learn. And if you want to learn more of that skill set, get on to the paid program. Brandy goes into great detail like we do on Fridays, Mondays, and any of those live exams. Make sure you get into those situations. All right, let's get into that test taking techniques, Brandy. Let's do it.
Hold on, let me get the right, like I like bright colors.
The right colors on the marker?
Yeah.
All right, let's do.
All right. I always try at least once a week. I try to do a risk question because it seems that lately these are big on every exam.
Yeah, everyone.
So I've got regulatory risk. It's just regulation, rule, whatever. Capital risk has to do with money because capital.
Right.
Get it? Reinvestment means invest again.
Yep.
And credit risk means something with your credit.
That means somebody ain't paying their credit card bill. It's a default.
Yeah. It is default, but yeah, it's something to do with not paying. Probably
you loaned out money and they ain't paying back. You know that, cousin.
Yeah, credit score issues.
Now you can tell your cousin that's a lot of credit risk.
Right. Okay. So now I'm just gonna go match that up. Right. Okay. It's a lot.
Ooh, how many of you already had a heart palpitation just looking at all those words?
It's a lot.
And then you saw numbers and thought math.
Right. So I got that. So it's probably not. That's probably not regulatory because of their numbers. But let's go backwards. Type of risk client encountered. Will purchase new bonds.
Sounds like you're investing again.
I'm just gonna go with that.
That's it. That's all.
We
didn't even read the paragraph, y'all.
No, I just went backwards.
If you want to know why, scan the QR code, hit the link. Let's get on to those content.
That's right.
This is Test Taking Techniques Tuesday. We ain't explaining content today.
All right, guys, look. SEC, no SEC.
Because it's different. There's no security SEC in that one. We didn't even see the question.
Yeah.
We didn't even see the question.
No.
Should I say it one more time? We didn't even see the question.
And it's just what you can put on your card.
Are you guys all paying attention? We didn't even see the question yet. Why are you doing this like you were in 5th grade still?
Right. 65, 62, 59 and a half, 73. Now I'm not gonna lie, guys. I tried to do this is the youngest, this is the oldest, this is the third. I tried, but look, okay. The only content, and it's not really content, this is
59 and a half.
This is a senior.
And a senior.
Right? But then look, there's a half right there.
Yeah.
There's a half.
Right.
It's probably the half.
Probably.
Because why are we being so specific, right?
Unless you're a weirdo that likes half birthdays.
Exactly. That's it. It's the half. In this one, it was the half, not the third number.
Am I the only person that doesn't believe in half birthday?
I don't really believe in half.
We didn't even see the question yet again.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
not really.
Not really. Yeah, a quarter birthday. All right. So, I looked at this one and I was like, okay, let's look at the words. I have to look at the words, right? So I got a change in beneficiary, an incapacity. I've got a death and and then I got a retirement.
I love ands, Brandy.
I like ands too.
You don't get Andy or Brandy without an and.
That's true. And I looked and I was like, okay, something's gonna trigger this, right? And that looks like the word deceased.
Yeah.
And it just goes with the and.
Yeah.
Look, there's something about if you only have one answer choice that has an and in it, for some reason, it's usually the answer. And then you combine like what we do on Mondays with the word death and decedent. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah,
it just confirms.
This ain't a speech class. We don't care. All we care about is picking the right answer.
Right. So it just confirmed that the and was in fact correct. That's it. I don't know. It's just based on the word and the and. All right. What's the answer?
C.
C. Look, again, this comes down to there's a number, there's a number, there's a number, there's not a number.
Yeah.
And that's a really long question.
Yep.
And it's really the answer.
Yeah. We didn't see the question. We answered it without math, no freak out. That's a C. That's it.
Right.
So when Sam Brown was talking about he doesn't understand content or very little of it, this is how he did it.
Right. And I'm going to give you guys a little extra. On Monday, this would be something like we would do on Monday.
Yeah.
The Kona catchphrase. But check this out. I have a 104 right there. And look, there's no 104. There's 104.25, but there's no 104.
Right.
There's no 104. So how can I order?
Can't.
You get it? No, not triggered. No 104. Do you see? See? Just.
That's content. We ain't doing content today,
No,
Brandon.
Content.
That's content. Too much content.
It's called catchphrase.
We talking too much. Let's go to the next one.
There.
Nah.
It's Monday.
Tuesday. We keep it flowing.
2 is the lowest. 6 is the highest. I'm just not feeling like doing math today.
Some people are like, that's me every day.
And also, guys, look, also 8, 4 is like a half, and it's like a 0.5, and it's a 5.
So in case you're a nerd and you like math, there you go.
There.
For all the rest of us, 5.
Yeah.
Techniques.
Yeah.
By the way, if you're on any of these securities exams and you feel like you need a calculator, you're thinking too much. You should stop yourself and go, I'm thinking too much.
Yeah.
You don't need a calculator. You know why? This ain't a math exam. This is a securities exam. Put the dang calculator down and stop trying to do math. If you love math and you're a math nerd, do that stuff at home. Wait for your securities license. Do all the math you want. Impress your friends. But until then, just get a dang pass notice. Stop thinking.
So look, let's pretend your test is tomorrow, right?
Just for instance.
Just for instance, your test is tomorrow, and what I would do is just take one quick 10-question quiz, doing exactly what we did right now.
That's it.
And then go take your test tomorrow.
If you were like, man, I need some more, sign up, be a member. There's all kinds of stuff in the archives. There's all kinds of masteries you can get in all of our videos. There's a bunch of techniques. You can get into those live sessions. But if you're like, yo, I love my McDonald's and Starbucks more than I love to learn, and you want to keep it on the free, I respect that. Go get on the YouTube, go look through the videos then. Go get onto something, start learning these techniques, put it in there. You don't need to struggle that hard. You don't need to struggle that hard. You can get this thing done and get it done quicker if you're a member. But I'm just going to tell you this. We had some positive mental attitude. We had a testimony. We showed you how them techniques work tonight. We did it all within about 30 minutes. I don't know what else we could do except say we'll be back tomorrow night. Same bat time, same bat channel. Until then, everybody stay safe out there. Wash your hands. Don't touch your face. Don't touch your friend's face. That's all I know. And keep the positive mental attitude. PMA, everybody. Have a great night.
Thank you all so much for being on. We so super, super appreciate you guys. Practice these techniques in your quizzes. We will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great one.